a little bit of technical difficulties. I am so sorry. Hi, y'all. Welcome to my channel. Um, y'all, I've been having between the issues with my phone and then the issues with computers. It has been a day. But welcome to my with self-respect leads to self-love. I'm your host, Goddess Asha Mariama. Thank you guys for joining me for this episode. If you guys like the commentary and you want to hear more, please go to speaker.com/my you minding your own business and with self-respect leads to self-love. And also my YouTube channel, From Darkness to Light. And I appreciate you guys for joining me for this episode. Today's episode, before we get started, let me first say I am a certified recovery, healing, and recovery coach. It's all about helping people on their paths and their journeys to a new and better you through self discovery. These two podcasts, one is about self esteem, self worth, and self values. And then the second one is about loving yourself despite the fact of people loving you, whether they don't, whether they, it's all about self respect. You believing in yourself if no one else believes in you, your confidence, your self worth, your self values being based upon you and not based upon someone else. And also with you minding your own business, it's all about everything that you do being based on what is best for you and not what's best for everybody else. Not trying to be who and what everybody else is, but being who you truly are as a person. That's what's important. So that's what these two channels are about. Give me 1 second. I'm going to add TikTok right quick and then we'll get started. Hey, y'all. How y'all doing? Welcome to my podcast, You Minding Your Own Business and Self Respect Leads to Self Love. I appreciate y'all for joining me for this episode. This episode is going to be all about mommy, daddy, child dynamics. Now, why is this important? It's important because when it comes to mommy, daddy, child dynamic, it's not something we talk about in the way that I'm going to talk about this. Now, this particular topic, as far as why do we lower ourselves to build other people up, I'm talking about family. Now, if you somebody that has these particular issues and you want to come up and you want to talk about it and you want to express it on TikTok, by all means, you can. The floor is open. Now, why is this particular topic so important when it comes to mommy, daddy, and children? Because this particular conversation, when it comes to healing and recovery, is you not lowering yourself for parents that really don't care about you in the first place. Let me give you an example of what I'm referring to. I've been watching a bunch of stories about whether it's family, whether it's a girl or a boy that basically essentially has a sibling or siblings that are the golden child. The one that mom and dad make excuses for them. They don't never get in trouble. They always get the best birthday parties. They always get a full ride to go to college. They're the ones that no matter what they do, mom and dad ain't never going to see the truth about their behavior. They're never held accountable. No matter what, they're never held accountable. They can do what they want to, say what they want to, and it's okay for them to do it. Now, these particular topics that I'm going to be pretty much discussing is going to hit a lot of people, and I mean a lot of people. It's going to hit some of y'all hard because for some of y'all, you've been through this. You have been through this particular situation of what I'm talking about. You're the one that had to pay your way through college. You the one that got to pay for everything. Your mom and them wasn't there for your events. Why? Because they was with your siblings. They took care of your siblings, paid their whole entire rent, bought them houses, put stuff in their name, and yet you were the independent one. You were the one that basically essentially had to basically use student loans and had to work 2 or 3 jobs just to be able to be in a situation where you could even make it through college. You graduated college and high school, and your parents weren't there because they were with your siblings. They were at some sibling event. Your sibling's career is better than yours. So every time you got a promotion, every time you talked about your career, it didn't matter. But it gets deeper. The parents that don't want you with a specific person. So every time your sister want one of your exes, your mama makes sure they have it. That type of situation is what we're talking about today. I'm talking about civil rivalry. But the fact that your parents always take your sibling side over yours. The fact that you got people out here that no matter what they do when it comes to their parents are never going to love them, never accept them unless they can do something for them. Another example of this can be families that basically leave their kids with their grandparents, and they end up, or let's say your mama gets remarried, right? And because your father's gone in whatever way they're gone now, or vice versa, now all of a sudden now they don't want nothing to do with you. Now they're kicking you out the house. Now they have a whole new family, whole new set of stepkids, and you just a bald-headed stepchild. That is what we're talking about this evening. And if any of y'all want to come up here and you relate to it, then let me know, and I'll bring you up, and we can do a panel about this. This needs to be talked about. This really needs to be talked about, because the fact that you got kids that want the love from their parents, and then when they become successful, and then your parents get older, now they want you to take care of them. They don't ask the golden child who they've been taking care of all these years. No, they're asking you to do it. But not only asking you to do it, they're asking you to take care of your sibling, the one that don't work, the one that don't want to keep a job, the one that is a social media, influencer, the one that mom and them is constantly willing to sell their house to give them a $75,000 wedding, but yet wouldn't walk you down the aisle. The ones where your sister and them are so entitled that they think that you need to give up your house that you paid for to move them in, and you move into a studio apartment and still pay their bills. Those type of parents are the ones I'm referring to here. These are the parents that I'm referring to. I'm referring to the parents that when it comes to one, they're never treated fairly compared to the other. And why does this happen? Why is it that the child that does everything right, the child that actually goes to school, the child that actually gets the education, the child that actually is the independent, self-sufficient child, not because they want to be that self-sufficient child, but because they didn't have a choice? And you're probably wondering, why am I having this conversation? Because it explains your romantic relationships. Because the same thing applies with your friendships, your romantic relationships. All of it centers around your parents. All of it does. Every single bit of it centers around that. So when you wonder why it is that your spouse or your boyfriend, or all the men and women that you were with, why they cheated, it's the same thing as it would be with your parents when it comes to your sibling. Why is it that your sibling gets more attention? Now, disability, I understand, but you have some siblings that are the golden child that get mad when your parents show you any type of attention, and they'll go and they'll try to say, well, basically lie on you so your parents won't pay you no attention. So not only are you fighting against another woman for a man, it's no different than you fighting against your siblings for your mom and dad's attention. You trying to tell them about what you did in school. Oh no, it don't matter that you made good grades. It didn't matter that you were out here doing the right thing. All they care about is he's the chosen one, she's the chosen one. She's the one that's going to make our generation better. She's the one that got the finance job. She's the one that got the husband. You're not married. You don't need to have a house that big. You don't need to have this. Your sister deserves it more than you do. What do you mean my sister deserves it more than I do? So instead of them being there for your events, they're not even there for your events. They're there for your siblings' events. So they skip everything that you got going on, everything that you're trying to do, just to go be with the sibling. The fact that they went and got your sister or brother a brand new car, and you catching a bus, working 2 or 3 jobs to get your first car. They gave your brother a free ride, but told you they can't afford to send you to college. That you don't need to go to college. That you need to help your brother pay for his way through school. We don't want you to go to college. You need to go to community college. Let me give you an example of some of these scenarios. There was a story about a young girl who she was always supposed to do for her brother. If that means helping him with his homework, well, technically her doing his homework for her. I mean, her doing his homework for him. The fact that she started going to school, she had to pay and help with the bills. He lived rent free. They paid his way through school, but didn't pay her way through school, college. They told her that we need you to continue to work to pay for his way through school. So you got pay a child to pay for their school because they can't afford to pay for it. So you end up going and spending and providing for your sibling because family comes first. And then what they always tell you, family comes first. So you're up here taking care of your sibling. I'm sorry, y'all, my thing went out. But you got people that sit up here and they get kicked out because they don't want to do something for their sibling. So, for example, there was another story where they wanted her house that she paid for, a house that she paid for, in order for home. They were moving her stuff out of her house. The deed is in her name to move her sister into her house because her sister wanted her house. The police had to be called. And they told her, you can't move into the house. This is her daddy-child dynamic. And people telling their stories about how they had a sibling and how their sibling was the golden child and how that sibling got everything. And you were forced to not only take care of your family, but take care of her. But yet the family will never ask that golden child to take care of them. I've seen and heard stories of people basically selling their house to give that golden child a $75,000 wedding. $75,000 wedding. So you mean to tell me that you are willing to sell your house to give your child a $75,000 wedding? I've seen stories where the parents ask the child that they don't even deal with like that, they don't even care about like that, to basically pay for their sister's $75,000 wedding, and then tell her she's not even invited. Not only is she not invited, but then they got her sitting in a whole nother section that's not even with the family. You look at old pictures and you notice that you'll have a sibling that's on the other side, not even in the picture. It's to the point where you're paying their rent, but they don't even invite you for Thanksgiving dinner. They forget your birthdays. Every year for your birthday, they get you something cheap, but yet you're getting them something expensive. You're sitting up here trying to, you know what I'm saying, do all this stuff for all these people in your family. And yet still they trashing you, talking about you're just a bank. So let's say that when you're paying all your family's bills, and you come home for Christmas and they are trashing you, talking about you ain't nothing but a bank, that that all the money that you gave them to pay bills, they were going on vacations. The money that you gave them to take care of them, you were pretty much, doing what they want to with your money. You were up here working double shifts. Even if you made $100,000 a year, even if you made more money than that, the money that could be in your pocket to buy a house, you're spending on your family members. They don't call you. They don't check on you. They don't do none of that. The only time they call you is when they want something. The only time they call you is when they need something. But yet, when they come down to the bills, they're quick to send you a text message talking about, are you going to make sure the water bill is paid? You're going to make sure the electric bill is paid? You're going to make sure this is paid? But yet they don't call you. You going through something, but yet still they don't want to be there for you. You telling them, I can't keep paying the bills. You told me this was temporary. 2 years later, you're still paying your mother's bills. 2 years later, you're still paying your brother's bills. You're paying student loans. You're paying off their scholarships. You're paying off their school. And you're not even the parent. You're the sibling. But you're paying for your parents' stuff, And yet that's the only time they call you. They don't call you to check on you. You could be in a hospital and all they care about is, are you going to pay the rent? Are you going to make sure the rent is good? Are you going to make sure the rent is due? Are you going to make sure it's taken care of? Your sister calling you, talking about, you going to make sure you pay my rent? So not only are you paying their rent, you're paying your sister's rent. Why? Because your parents telling you family comes first. Family comes first. So it's not about the fact of the matter that you have a life. It ain't even about the fact that your parents even care about you like that. But it's the fact that you are convenient and they know that you want their love so bad. Half of them didn't even want you. Half of them wish you weren't even born. Then you might find out that you may not even be that person's child. You might find out that basically, essentially, the person that you thought was your daddy or your mama may not even be your daddy or your mama. So when it comes to you lowering yourself for your parents, especially the ones that put your siblings above you, the ones that really didn't care about you like that, The ones that never gave you birthday parties, was never there for your events. Every time you told them you want to do something, they would tell you, no, it's not realistic. You the one that's not married. Why are you not married? Why are you not in a relationship? You should be married, because I choose not to be. But yet your sister's better than you because she's married and got kids. You the one that's designated babysitter. You the one that every time that she going through something, you the one got to watch their kids. You're the one that's Mr. and Mrs. Dependable when it comes to your family members. So the reason I did this particular topic is because I've been seeing this quite often, more so than not. I have been seeing a lot of people cutting their families off. Their mamas, their daddies, their parents. I've seen their siblings. I have seen a lot of people cutting people off because they are sick and tired of being their family's ATM. You got parents that kicked you out the house, and as soon as you got some money, here they come. You got parents that went and got your sister a car off your credit. You got parents that use your social security number to put stuff in your name. By the time you turn 18, you had no idea that all this stuff was put in your name by your mama. You got people that you have a beach house somewhere that you work for, and your parents turn right back around and they end up taking your beach house and renting it out without your permission. They sitting up there coming to your beach house, messing it up, not cleaning it out. Every weekend they coming to your house wanting to party. You let your sister, and she bringing people in your house that you don't even know, letting people come all through your house. Your sister who wants to live off you rent free, or your brother the one that want to live with you rent free, and then you end up selling your house. You end up moving to another state. How could you just up and leave? How could you just up and leave and go to another state? Or your family, your brother or sister's getting married, and y'all ain't in a good place, but the person she's marrying is all about family, so they want to meet you. And you're like, I ain't going. We need you to come because we need to be like a family, but we're not a family. Why in the world would I go? I'm not going to go and act like we're a family, no full well we ain't no family like that. You know. That's your favorite. Why don't you ask your favorite to do all these things for you since they're your favorite? No, she can't do it. She's still trying to find herself. What do you mean she's trying to find herself? Find herself as far as what? So I'm the reliable one. I'm the independent one. So that's the reason you want me to pay your bills, not for 2 or 3 months, but you want me to pay your bills for 6 or 7 months. You the one that sits quiet. You the one that guilt trip into doing stuff for them, but they don't reciprocate it. You the one sitting up here. All you want is your parents to love you, and yet and still, for some reason or another, they don't. You can make straight A's, do what's right, and your parents will still make you feel like you're the problem. Make you feel bad because if you say no, they be like, well, family comes first. They raise you to do for everybody else, but forget about yourself. Post-traumatic slave disorder. So while you sitting up here bending over backwards, your parents ain't there for none of your events, ain't there for your birthday parties. They drop you off at grandma, but take your sibling and do whatever they want to. Get some stepkids and act like you don't exist. They kick you out when you 18, but let your stepbrother and stepsister still stay in the house. Do these things kind of sound familiar to you? Some of y'all ain't ready for these type of conversations. That's why I said I'm not surprised about people going in and out. But welcome to siblings. The one thing about sibling rivalry, daddy-child dynamic, and when it comes to recovery, it starts there. It starts there. It absolutely starts there. So once you start dealing with your family issues, it's going to be easier for you to be able to deal with your other issues. Like, for example, there is one where it says, my sister revealed that she's carrying my husband's baby. So you got siblings that even want your husband or your wife. You have siblings that every time you get somebody in your life, they try to take them every chance they get. You got siblings that don't even care. They will sleep with your husband, sleep with your wife. They don't care. Just to have one up on you. And then the crazy part is you got parents that say, oh, it's no big deal. My sister slept with my husband. My sister slept with my ex. My brother slept with my girlfriend. And all your parents say, oh, he's a better one. And what makes it worse is when your parents tell the person you with that you better off with your sister or brother than you. When you got your parents tearing you down every chance you get. Y'all get around family and they are tearing you up, embarrassing you. Talking about you're the embarrassment. You're the screw up. So on and so forth. This is what they're saying about you. This is what they're talking about when it comes to you. So I'm just saying, at the end of the day, this is what they're doing. Does it make it right? No. But when you start accepting the fact that your family ain't never going to accept you, and you stop jumping through hoops and lowering yourselves to try to get your family to like you, try to get your family to know your worth, trying to get your family to accept you, you'll do it in every other part of your life. Every other part of your life, you'll do it for. So at the end of the day, I want people to understand that when it comes to mommy, daddy, child dynamic, if my mother was to ever accept the fact of my sister sleeping with my ex, we'd have a very serious problem because I wouldn't even talk to him. Then you got my mom kicked me out at 16 to raise her new kids. And then as soon as she made some money, here come her mom and them talking about they need some money. Talking about family come first. You kicked me out at 16 for your stepkids, and now you want me to give you some money. Now you want me to pay your bills. Where's your golden child at? Oh, they have to find themselves. They have to try to figure things out. You're so responsible. You got yourself together. You don't need to have what you have. You need to share with your sister. Every time you get something, you got to give it to your sibling because they want it. Okay, James Scott Farron, I want what I want and I want it now. Okay, cool. So just the fact that you got parents that put one on a pedestal and the other one like they trash is ridiculous. So the fact you're going to ask me to pay for my sibling's wedding, why am I paying for it? And that's your job. I'm not paying for no wedding. I ain't paying $75,000 for no wedding. You even got parents that will sue their child because they don't want to pay for something. Then is this one. Now, also, I can flip this. You have sons that disrespect their mothers and daughters that disrespect their mothers when they get older. And here's one. Her son kicked his mother out for his wife, and she was the one paying the mortgage. And then another one. At dinner, dad said, we never wanted a daughter like you. Who tells their child to mess like this? Who tells their daughter, we never wanted a daughter like you? So you gonna tell your child that they're not good enough, that they're not worthy, and you wonder why these women keep staying with these men that basically commit domestic violence, and you wonder why. Because verbal abuse and mental abuse and psychological abuse is just as bad as physical abuse. Then there's another one where it says, at our reunion, a dark secret was exposed that tore us apart forever. So, at the end of the day, you're going to have parents that's going to kick people out because they're pregnant. And then when they get some money and they broke, here they come. So when they're not doing well, that's when they want to call you. Oh, I heard you made some money. Oh, I heard you won the lottery. Oh, I heard you were doing this. I heard you were doing that. And then they call you like they talked to you yesterday and y'all ain't talked in 15 years. After you ain't talking to your family 15 years after they kicked you out. Now here they come talking about well, doing so well, you want to think about me. So when your new husband was doing so well, oh, you weren't thinking about me. Now you want me to buy you all this stuff when you kicked me out and you told me I was not your. So now you want me to help you out. Now you want me to buy you all these things. Now you want me to pay for my siblings' college that I don't even know. So you went and had other kids and act like I didn't exist. And now you want me to help you out. Now that you done made it to the NBA, the NFL, now you're doing music and whatever you're doing, and now you're successful. Here come all the family members that never talk to you. Talking about, well, I got a new business and I got a new something that I want to start up and I need some money. Dude, you don't even call me. Then when you tell them no, they go and tell everybody on social media, tell all your family members, and now they're calling you talking about why you don't want to help your sister, why you don't want to pay for her wedding. First of all, why am I paying for her wedding? She told me she didn't want me to go. This girl blatantly disrespected me, and you think I'm going to pay for her wedding? You think I'm going to sit up here and pay for her wedding after I've been disrespected by her? And then when they go behind your back and pull money out of your account because you have a shared account, and they take $75,000 of your money without your knowledge and go and pay for a wedding that you know nothing about and that you weren't even invited. Then you're sitting up there paying their bills every single month, and they don't even want you to come for Christmas. They don't even want you to come for Thanksgiving, but yet and still you want me to pay your bills. I'm in the hospital and I'm asking you to take care of my kids, but yet you are in a whole nother state. But yet I'm paying your bills. Extra money that could be in my pocket, I'm paying your bills. Because I'm trying to be the daughter that I'm supposed to be. But your golden child ain't paying for nothing. Your golden child ain't doing nothing. Ain't helping you in any capacity. But yet you come to me because I'm the reliable one. I'm the strong one. I'm the independent one. So you come to me asking me to help you out. And then mad when I leave another state. Then when I try to take another state job, you're telling me, oh no, you don't need to take another state job. You don't need to do that. Why not? Why not? Well, you don't need to do that because I'm realistic. That's why half of us didn't live our dreams. So if you want to know why a lot of people didn't live their dreams, this is why. Your mom and your daddy and that favorite child that they had. I know some of y'all can relate to this. So if you can relate to this, you can let me know by the hearts in this room. Because there are a lot of people that did not reach their goals or their potential, not because of anything they did except their parents. Because their parents put them through what I like to call post-traumatic slave disorder, where you were a slave to your parents. You were a slave to your siblings. That's why. So at the end of the day, when you have parents that sit up here and make you feel less than what you are, put your sibling above you, make you feel like you ain't good enough, you ain't worthy, you're not deserving, you know what I'm saying? Then what? And the sad part about it is you want their love so bad, you're willing to allow them to disrespect you. You sitting up here feeling guilty because you don't want to hurt your family because family helps family. But the only person that's doing all the giving is you. You the one paying their bills. You the one that they sit her through school or him through school, but you had to pay your own way. And then there's another one. Where is that? You even got issues with mother-in-laws that don't like their daughter-in-laws. You have friends that sleep with each other, man or woman for that matter. So all these relationships start with your parents. And the only reason you're taking that abuse is because of the fact of the verbal abuse that your mom and them put you through. That's it. And then here's one right here. Her mother sold her dream house for her sister. You gonna sell somebody else's house that you ain't got the right to sell? You gonna sell your child's house that you don't even have the right to sell, but you gonna sell their house for their sibling. Then there's another one. My sister's kids ruined my party and broke a $2,000 TV. How in the world is your kids gonna come in my house and disrespect my house? Then you have sisters and brothers that want you to babysit, and now you're the certified babysitter. So when y'all go out of town, the only reason they want you to go out of town because they need you to babysit. So while they're enjoying the vacation, you're sitting up there babysitting. You're the one sitting up here babysitting. You're the one that's sitting up here every time your parents need you. When you say jump, when they say jump, you say hi. You're the one always making the sacrifices. You're the one when you were in college had to work 2 or 3 jobs just to pay for school. And then when you make it, the one that they never said would make it, the one they said was not good enough, the one they said would never go to college, the one they said they would never do anything, now they're calling you. So now when things ain't going so well, now they're calling you. They're not calling a golden child, the one they spent all that money on, the one they paid through school, who had a free ride, the one that got a brand new spanking car while I had to ride the bus, the one that ain't never got to be held accountable for nothing because mom and dad are going to keep on for the life of them, making excuses for them, keep protecting them, keep trying to sit up there and be there for them. That's what they're going to do. Some of them will even go in debt for these kids, but they'll never do it for you. But yet they expect you to pay their bills. Oh, it's temporary. It's temporary. Or you renovate their house and then they tell you, oh, by the way, I'm going to give it to your sister, your brother. So I renovated the house and you told me verbally you were going to give me the house. And then you turn around and you give it to them after I paid to fix the whole entire house. You telling me that I'm giving you money to pay your bills and you are going on vacation with my money? I'm the one doing all these things for my family, and yet and still not once have y'all done anything for me since I was a kid. My birthdays I had to spend by myself because my sibling had a cheerleading practice and shit they had to deal with. You didn't walk me down the aisle because my sister's promotion was bigger than my wedding. So you mean to tell me that all of my events when I was a kid you missed because my siblings was more important? Oh, okay. So again, welcome to recovery. Welcome to recovery. Because once you start dealing with your family, everything else, when it comes to other people, gonna be easier for you to deal with. So, for example, there's one where it says, Dad shouted, leave my house. I smiled, then empty every account in my name. You have no idea how much stuff is in your name that your parents put in your name that you have no idea that they did. You have no idea what they do behind your back because you don't know. So again, when you start going through recovery, and once you start cutting ties with your family, you're going to realize everything you go through in every other relationship going to be the same as your family dynamic. And all you're doing is letting the same people that remind you of your parents, that act like your parents, do the same thing to you. It's just like domestic violence. If you somebody that was in an abusive relationship, let's say for example, your mom and them were very abusive when you were a kid, you will let every person put their hands on you. So you're going to start realizing that a lot of people you dated will remind you a lot of your parents in some way, shape, or fashion, male or female. So, like I said, you just never know. Then it says, Mom chose stepsister over me and demanded that I share my college fund. So how you going to ask somebody to share their college fund? Why? I'm not sharing my college fund that I worked hard for or that was given to me for somebody else. I've seen people where the father, somebody will send money and they'll give it to the other sibling. And so they're asking you, how did you like the new house? What new house? Oh, they didn't tell you that we bought you a house? No, she living in it. So now the person that's been sending money every month for you, or inheritance that will be given to you, or a college fund that was set aside for you for your grandparents or sibling, because they basically have the trust over it, because they have power of attorney. They're your guardian. So you ain't seen a dime of it. So while you busting your behind and working, they're taking your inheritance and spending it on your sibling and spending it on themselves. Stuff like this happens all of the time. Literally all of the time. It happens all the time. And then if something happened to your parents and they left money for you, you may not see it when you're a kid. If your dad left you money and your mom gets remarried, you may not even see that money. She gonna take that money and put it towards her new family. So that's what I'm saying. That's why when it comes down to situations where you have people that get married and there are kids involved, that's a hard pill to swallow. Then you also got, my family disowned me for buying a mansion. Why are you gonna be mad because I decided to buy a mansion? And what does that got to do with you? So again, these conversations y'all ain't ready for. You ain't ready for these conversations. But this is why I look at the Country Wayne skits the way I do. Because a lot of this stuff is real stuff. Not only does this happen with kids, this also happens with parents when they get older. When, like, for example, let's say, you get older. Your kids now kicking you out because of their new wife or their new husband. Now all of a sudden your kids want to put you in a group home. They want to put you somewhere. So I mean, I'm just saying, these things happen all of the time. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Let me let him know that I'm doing a live. Hold on. Cause give me 1 second. I need to let this person know I'm doing a live. So I just want people to understand. I get it. And I understand. But like I said, this stuff happens all the time when it comes to parents, when it comes to them having a new family, when it comes to a sibling, and you the one that ain't done nothing wrong. But yet you're the worthless one. You're the one that's not good enough. You're the one that's not this and not that. Why? Because they never wanted to have you in the first place. Why? Because now they have their golden child. Let's say your father wanted a boy and got a girl. And then he finally gets his boy. Guess what? He gonna treat you like trash. Why? Because he wanted a boy. He didn't want a girl. So when it comes down to recovery, that one right there gonna be the hardest. Family gonna be the hardest. Because when you start looking at your family and when you look at everybody else, you're going to realize you're going through the same thing because you're dealing with the same type of spirit of people, like your parents, verbally. I keep. Hold on. Give me a second. Give me 1 second. I told him I was doing a live. Hold on. When it comes to your parents are the ones that's going to break your self-esteem worse than anybody else. Your parents and your family are going to do way more damage than anybody else. Everybody else just going to make it worse. So what I want people to understand is when it comes to these topics of Country Wayne, I take them seriously because of the fact when it comes to your parents are going to break you and everybody else going to take advantage of that. Because you can sit here and tell people what you've been through, they're going to put you through the same thing. Why? Because the spirit of your parent is just like that person. That's why when people say that they don't want to date somebody like their parents, and y'all wonder why. But it also can flip because also kids go against their parents too. You have a lot of parents, a lot of kids, these same spoiled, entitled kids that I'm talking about, same ones, will not take care of their parents. So when you stop taking care of them, they get mad because you're not going to take care of them. Why is it that you don't want to take care of them? You being selfish. Wait a minute, hold on. Are you going to take care of them? Now that I'm cutting them off because of you? Are you going to take care of them since, you the golden child and all? Why shouldn't you take care of them considering they treated me like trash? Considering they were always there for you? Considering they bought you everything? But yet you don't want to reciprocate that. You only come to our parents when you need something. But see, that's the way they raised you. They raised you to be entitled. That turns around and it flips. It's just like the kids that grew their parents' company and then turn around and give it to their brother. The one ain't done nothing for the company. Nothing. Ain't done nothing for the company at all. And yet and still, they're going to hand it over to that person. So it's just funny how the person that helped you, the person that had your back, despite how they've been treated, is not the one that's going to be the one that's going to benefit. It's always going to be that golden child. It's always going to be that spoiled entitled. It's always going to be that beautiful person. The person that ain't got to do nothing. So it starts with childhood. It happens all the time. So you got people that have grown the businesses, that have worked for their families. They're the ones that basically talk about, it's like one where I'm looking right now. After refusing to help pay for my college, my parents expected me to give $140,000 to my brother. You lost your mind if you think I'm doing it. See, these topics are not talked about. But see, here's the kicker of it all. When it gets to these real deep and depth conversations, oh no, y'all ain't ready for these deep and depth conversations. because some of this stuff is a little bit too real for y'all to deal with. But that's why you're not healed, because you don't want to deal with these real in-depth conversations. You don't want to accept the truth for what it is. So a lot of people, y'all wonder why they cut their families off. You wonder why they are cutting people off and why they're alone, because they're tired of being hurt. They've been hurt by their family. They've been hurt by their friends. They've been hurt by everybody who they thought cared about them, and they tired. So it's not the fact that some people want to be alone. Some people realize they ain't got no choice, because that's the only way they're going to have any peace. Is the only way they're going to be able to live their lives and have some type of self-esteem, self-worth, and self-value, because everybody and their mom is always going to tell them down all the time, making them feel less than what they are. So I'm just saying, I get it. I understand. I really, 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 really do. I get it. But at the same time, there are a lot of people whose lives went straight downhill because of the way their parents treated them. Because of the fact they were told they weren't good enough, they weren't worthy. Like this one here, after refusing to help pay for my college, and after I done got myself together, here come my parents asking me for $140,000 to pay for my siblings' college. Ain't no way in the world I'm paying for it. I need you to give up your house so you can pay your sister's debts. Why am I doing it for? See, when it comes to healing and recovery, y'all ain't ready for these conversations, because all of your relationship issues came from your parents. They were the first relationship you ever been in. And there's no other relationship that is any different than your parents, except the ones you're having sex with. Take away the sex. There is no difference between your husband, your best friend, your mama, your daddy, your siblings. Nothing. That same type of control, or where somebody wants you to lower yourself, is no different than your parents do. When they want you to take care of your siblings, when they tell you that you don't make good enough grades to go to college. The same ones that give your siblings the better birthday parties, pay for them to go to school, but yet don't pay for you. So, you know what I'm saying? The ones that mock you because of the fact you the one that had to struggle. Of course you can mock me. Mom and dad pay for everything. Of course you can mock me. Of course you can make me feel less than what I am. Because mom and dad pay for everything. Mom and dad are still paying for everything. Mom and dad just mortgaged their house for you. Mom and dad went above and beyond to make sure that they went to all your events. And yet they came to none of mine. And for some of y'all might think that's a hating thing, but it's not. It's valid. They didn't care about your feelings. You're supposed to build your sibling, the golden child, the one that is their golden child. You're supposed to take care of them. You're supposed to take care of your sister. Says who? Says who? You know what I'm saying? You weren't supposed to have baby. So even it flips, because now these golden kids, when it comes to their parents, the same ones mom went through all of this for, when they get older, their sons end up kicking them out, taking all their money, and now leaving you out there. And it's the one that you did dirty is the one that you expect to clean up the mess. You expect that child who you treated like trash for over the other one, now you want them to help you pay your bills. Family helps family. But the one that is your golden child keeps messing up and screwing up and spending all your money. And yet now you're broke and you wonder why you ain't got no money. You ain't got no money because instead of you telling them no, instead of you making them deal with consequences, you covered it up. Now you got a child that's running around here stealing, and you're now going to pay for what they stole. They do all these investments, and when they screw up, you guess who's paying for it? You are. You the one going to get loans for this child that basically you just can't tell no. But the other one, you saying, oh, they're independent, oh, they're strong, they can make it, they're gonna be fine. But yet that's the one you're expecting to pay for everything. That's the one you have absolutely no respect for. That's the one you keep saying they're not good enough, they're not worthy. That's the one you don't give them not a bit more of a birthday party, but yet you give your that sibling a $2025 car. But yet I have to pay for my own car. You give me hand-me-downs, buy them new clothes, buy them new shoes, buy them new art supplies. I have to go through hand-me-downs. Oh, what I want to do isn't something that's worth doing. Oh, is that what we're doing now? And then when you tell your parents this, oh no, we treated y'all equally after everything I've done for you. No, you have not. You have not treated us equally. The one that actually is doing the right thing, that is the one you're trashing. That's the one you're saying their grades ain't good enough. But the one that constantly screw up, you keep making excuses for. And then you wonder why people have depression. You wonder why people, every time they get in relationships, they don't feel good enough. Why some people going through verbal abuse. Why they allow people to treat them any kind of way. Your parents were the first ones to do it. They were the first ones that no matter what you did, it wasn't good enough. And you just continue to keep trying until you almost in the grave. That you can't do something. The minute you can't do something, you are not no use to nobody. And they certainly ain't going to help you. Why? Because they think you capable. They think you capable. So a lot of y'all ain't ready for these conversations. You ain't. A lot of y'all are not ready for that conversation about your parents. Because some of y'all are going to have these same feelings. But it happens all the time. Those same children that you spoiled and you entitled are the same ones that ain't never going to take care of you when you get older. And then the minute they get a girlfriend, they're not want nothing to do with you. Or they're going to allow their mama to blatantly disrespect you. They're going to let their mama blatantly move in and basically do what they do. So I'm just telling you how they go. It happens all the time. More than you might think. You got sons that kick their mamas out for their wives. You got daughters that basically took advantage of their mothers and basically scammed their mothers. You have women that basically treat their mothers badly. So yeah, it's crazy. So these things happen all the time. And I be reading these stories and it just amazes me. You have people that win the lottery that don't even want their family to even know they won the lottery. Because they know their family is going to be all in their face. So if you wonder why a lot of people move in silence and why a lot of people they friends are short, they don't have a lot of friends. The ones that are by themselves and y'all wonder why. Because they have tried. Lord, they've tried in every aspect. Friendship, romantic relationships. They tried with their parents. They tried with their family members. They have tried with jobs. And it's the same nonsense. Everybody always expects them to give. Always expects them to sacrifice. Always expects them to be Captain Save-A-Ho, Build-A-Bears, Build-A-Dolls, seed fillers, people pleasers. They expect them to jump when they say how high. And they only call you when they want something. They don't never call you to check on you. And as soon as you get sick and as soon as you ain't able, that's when they want nothing to do with you because you have nothing to offer them. So now they're trashing you. So all these things you did for all of these people is never going to be reciprocated because it ain't about it being reciprocated. That person is not paying you back your money. The only reason they say the word cannot borrow, so it's just an easier word because they think you think they're going to pay it back and they're not. So you have it go both ways, regardless of whether it's the parent or the child. It go both ways. It go both ways. But the next time I have this conversation, I'm gonna talk about how these same spoiled entitled kids, the ones you put on the pedestal, how they turn around and they it flips. Because that same entitled child is gonna be the one that says, "I wish you were dead," after the mom sold the car. So I'm here to tell you, you never know. It's just like one now. She called her parents after her husband died and her son was in the hospital. And instead of going to the funeral, they went to her sister's promotion. This girl lost her husband and maybe lost her child, but yet parents won't know where to be found. Nowhere to be found at all. But yet when it came down to her, when she was about to go for the wheel, here come her parents. Here come her sister. Want to see how much money she was going to get. Then as soon as she got the money, here they come talking about, oh, you can give your sister a house. Oh, you can give your sister this. Oh, you can pay for this. But you weren't there for your daughter after she had to bury her husband and her child. Where were you? So y'all need to understand, this all starts with your parents. It starts with your parents. It starts there. Because the same children that they put on a pedestal, the same ones they went above and beyond to take care of, are the same ones when they get older that's waiting for them to die so they can get the insurance money. The same ones that you sold your house for to give them a $75,000 wedding is the same ones that when you get older ain't never gonna give you a place to stay. But the child that you disrespected, the child that you did dirty, the child that you told wasn't good enough, the child that you didn't pay for their college, the child that you missed all of their events, including their graduation, including them going to college, the one you didn't pay attention to when it came to her promotions or his promotions, that's the one that would have been there for you. Your golden child. So yeah, the golden child is the one you paid for everything. The golden child is the one you put on the pedestal. But that golden child is not going to reciprocate what you did. That child is going to feel like they're entitled. They don't have to work. They don't have to do anything because you're going to make excuses for them. You're going to always cover them. But the one you're saying is worthless, the one you're saying is not good enough, the one whose dreams you try to destroy every chance you get, is the same one that's going to be there for you before you die. Straight like that. So, yeah. Y'all ain't ready for these conversations. You really ain't. Y'all are not ready for these conversations. But once you, before I end this, once you go and you deal with your family issues, when it comes to your family, and you realize that family is not biological, that family is actually people that you don't know, when you realize that you're never going to get your family's love, you're never going to get your mom and dad to accept you, once you let it go and you cut ties and you forgive them and you relinquish all of them tears, you ain't gonna want nothing to do with them at all. You're gonna walk away from your parents and probably never speak to them again. You have parents that say, we're disowning you. Okay, cool. Go ahead and disown me then. You got parents that sit up here, and because you won't do what they want you to do, they get upset. They use you just as bad as anybody else, if not worse. So I wanted to have this conversation because this conversation needs to be had. Because everything starts with your parents, and it just trickles down to everything else. What you put up with your parents, you're gonna put up with when it comes to everybody else. And that's just what you're gonna do. So how you are treated is determined based upon how everybody else in your family treated you and how you were treated as a kid. Hey girl, can you hear me?
Hey girl.
Hey.
Hey, I hear you. I'm trying. Hey girl.
Uh-oh, like you echoing. But yeah, I mean, I just feel like that people don't understand that you don't have that sibling that is the golden child. And even if they're the only child, if you spoil and entitle a child, and when you get older and you can't do for that child, they you talking about mean? They don't mean. They the ones gonna put you in the group home. Them the ones that when you get older, they wait for you to die so they can get the inheritance money. So this is the thing. It goes both ways. Either way it go, that golden child not only causes damage to their sibling, but they cause damage to the same parents that these parents went for back for. I've seen situations where parents sold their houses to give their golden child a $75,000 wedding. Derek, if you want to come up here, let me know if you want to come up here. Hey, Derek, if you want to come up here, you can, because you might be somebody that might be good with this topic. But I just want people to understand that it's always going to be the haves and the have-nots. It's always going to be one sibling that ain't good enough, and it ain't even got to be because of anything they did. It's just because they wanted a son, they wanted a daughter, and now they got that son and that daughter. Now they don't want you. You know what I'm saying? And the sad part about it is this child grows up thinking they're not good enough, even though they made good grades, even though they're in events and they're doing good in sports. The other child is the one they're banking on, the one that they think is gonna be more successful, the one they think is gonna be the one that is gonna be their favorite. And I'm sure for a lot of y'all, you've been through this, where your parents didn't get you nothing for your birthday. Matter of fact, they forgot your birthday. They forgot your birthday. But yet your brother gets this whole entire, or sister gets this whole entire full-fledged birthday party. They paid their way through school, but didn't pay your way through school. You the one paying rent in the house while the sibling ain't paying nothing. Oh, because they're trying to find themselves. That ain't no excuse why they ain't got no job. But yet, when they start losing money because that same child who comes to them with all these investments and all this other stuff, their parents always bailing them out. Now they're broke. Now they can't retire. Who are they coming to? They're coming to you. Oh, sweetheart, your mom and dad don't have that much money. Where did all your money go? Oh, we almost about to lose the house. So you wait until you almost about to lose the house to come to me and say you need help. So now you need me to pay rent for how long? Oh, it's just for a few months. Come to find out, it's gonna be 2 years. 2 years you're paying your parents rent, but guess where the money going? Towards your brother and sister. So they're still taking care of the sibling, even though they're about to lose the house. They're taking the money that you gave them and giving it to that sibling. So that sibling is making them broke. And yet, what do they tell you? Oh, you're the independent one. Oh, you're the strong one. You're the one that can handle anything. That don't mean I don't need you. But then again, you made me that way. You made me that way because you didn't do nothing for me. And then they say, well, look what we done for you. What did you do for me? When? On Christmas. Did you get me a gift? No, you gave me hand-me-downs. What did you get me? You cook food that I don't even eat because she don't like it. You base everything around that child. And I didn't matter. You told me you wanted me to go to community college. And because they went the direction you wanted them to go, and I didn't, now you're mad because I didn't go the direction that you wanted me to go. It's a lot of y'all that can relate to this. And you can't tell me that you can't. But guess what? This happens even in your romantic relationships. Because you are looking for that same love you didn't get from your parents. And the minute that person is not affectionate, the minute that person is not giving you what you want, now you're upset. But that person is no different than your parents. The same way that your parents look at you, the same way they never wanted you, the same way that man was as well, or that woman was as well. They want your resources. See, when I started helping people with this particular issue, a lot of people going to be like, the way you look at other people that ain't your family, you're going to start looking at them very differently. I promise you, you will. I'm a living testament of that. When I started looking at my family and I started looking at my romantic relationships, it wasn't nothing but me being another parent. I went from being the child that was neglected to being the adult that was treated the exact same way I was when I was younger. I was treated the exact same way. So if you think that people change because they turn 18, no, they don't. They don't change at all. They just become adults. So when you become adult, that parent is still used to you being that same child. So when you finally say enough is enough, and the crazy part is how you find out is one of your family members record them having a conversation and they're talking about how you're an ATM and how the only time they call you is when they want some money. Then when you cut them off, then they get mad because you cut them off. And now they're trying to beg you not to cut them off. And now they come in with threats talking about if you cut us off, we're going to disown you. Well, go ahead and disown me then. Please go ahead and disown me then. You sitting up here going in debt to try to pay and take care of a family member that don't care about you at all, don't check on you, don't want you coming for Christmas, don't want you coming for holidays because they're ashamed of you. Talking about you're the embarrassment, don't even know you're a multimillionaire. They still are used to the version of you that they remember, but not the version that you are now. So a lot of people from your past only know you from the version that you were. Well, guess what? Your parents do too. Some of your parents don't even know what your favorite color is. Some of your parents don't even know half of the stuff you went through because you don't even talk to them like that. And when you go home, they're always making you feel less than what you are. Consider even if your sibling don't even do half the stuff that you do, they still gonna make it seem like you ain't good enough. You can graduate college, they ain't gonna show up. They're not even gonna show up for your graduation. They're not even gonna care about your promotion. All they care about is how much was your bonus. So since you got $80,000, why don't you give your brother $20,000 to start an investment? Family helps family. Absolutely not. My $80,000 belongs to me. I'm not giving him $20,000 and squander the way that you had. You didn't even have the money to pay his way through school, and he didn't even finish school, but you're asking me to pay his student loans. So why in the world would this child, who's a golden child, ever do something on their own when they always got somebody to sit up there and back them up? They always got somebody that's going to pay for something. They always got somebody that's going to always catch them, that's going to always feel sorry for them, that always going to be Captain Save-A-Hole, Build-A-Bears, Build-A-Dolls, Sea Fillers, People Please, and so on and so forth. How And that is why these people are now your husbands and now your wives. That's who you're dealing with. You are dealing with golden children. Children that basically, essentially, never had to work. Mom and dad took care of everything. And all they do is leech off other people. So they don't went from their parents to now you. There you go. So when you start going down this recovery road, I need people to understand. It all starts there. That's why you pay attention to their family and how they are around their family. You're going to find out why that mama's a mama's boy. Pay attention to that. He's a mama's boy. That right there is telling you he's a golden child. That's why that mama is the way she is towards you. She never let him grow up. She always takes care of him. Even when she come to your house, she's trying to take over your house. He lets her move in and don't even talk to you about it. Why would he talk to you about it? Why would he even say anything about it? So you have to understand, a lot of y'all are dating the same golden children that were your siblings. The same golden children. The one that was the apple of your parents' eye. Well, guess what? Now you're dating one of them. That's just like your brother. That's just like your sister. The same type of people. And they're doing you the same way that your parents did, your siblings did, your immediate family did. So when you start coming to that realization, oh, trust me, you're going to make better decisions when it comes to the people you deal with. Because anybody that reminds you of your siblings and the way your parents treated your siblings, if you see that in that person, you ain't going to date them. All of this, I'm going to jump when you say hi. All this being a captain, save a hole, build a bears, build a dolls, seat fillers, and people, you ain't going to do. All this, I'm willing to do anything to be loved, liked, appreciated, valued, wanted, needed to be a part of something, be validated, to be approved of, to be accepted for somebody to know your worth. You ain't gonna do it. Why? Because you're learning to accept all of that I have to find within myself. When you realize you in the hospital fighting for your life and your doctor tell you got post-traumatic slave disorder because you have let so many people damage you because you didn't care about the fact of you being able to enjoy anything that is yours. You quick to give it away because family comes first. Because you're trying to be Captain Save-A-Hole because you're trying to save somebody that you can't save. Their families can't even save them. So it starts there. Once you stop doing that for your family, you're going to stop doing it for everybody else. Because now you're going to start seeing a pattern. Take away the sex out of it. Take the sex out of it. And start looking at man for who he is outside of that. Take away the money and look at his character. Look at how he is. Then that will tell you. Siren syndrome. Stop looking at the physical. Look at the way they think. Look at the fact that all these women before you thought the same thing you did. I could change them. I can make them better. I got the ring, so it makes me better than you. But yet his time is with a whole nother woman. He got multiple baby mamas. But you think you're special because you got the ring. No, you ain't. Those women are going to be a part of your life for 18 plus years. Them women ain't going nowhere. Why do you think all these men keep having all these kids? Because they'll always have somebody to go back to every time something don't work out. They get you. See, let me tell you something. Some of these men get women pregnant by accident. Some of these men get women pregnant because they know you're reliable. And they know that when it's all done, they're coming back to you. That's why some of these men get some women pregnant. They know that you are a good woman, and they know that they don't want you now. But by having their baby, They can always come in and out your life anytime they feel like it. Isn't that what your parents do? Isn't that what you do to your parents when you reach a certain age? So what it is the ones that are spoiled and entitled are the ones that always rebel against their family. The ones that the parents try to shelter them from the world are the ones that always rebel. But the ones that are actually honest with their children, the ones that talk to their kids and being upfront, those are the ones that ain't getting in as much trouble. So there you go. Did I say something, Venetia, that's not right?
Oh, I agree. You say everything right, correctly. If somebody feels some type of way, I don't know what they got to say about it, but you said it real.
So what do you think about the fact of the matter that you have parents? Because you got two, you got a boy and a girl. Now you treat your kids evenly because we talked outside of this, and you showed me your baby's drawings, and you said I treat both my kids the same because I don't want either one of them to feel like one is different or better than the other.
What I would say is, as far as my mother and my stepfather, because I'm the point and I'm the judgment or that I have my mother and a stepfather. And I love my stepfather. My stepfather always been there for me and protected me and kept care and protected me. Um, what I can say is this is that. Um, okay. Let me calm down. Let me soften it up. My stepfather always been there for me, just as my mother has. Um, what people need to understand is the matter of fact of it is, um, I'm gonna be quiet. Let y'all listen to the cricket. You hear the cricket? But my stepfather loved me. He always been there for me. I had a father figure, which I had my father in the figure and around me. But my stepfather been there for me.
Did your
I'm a
dad
pause.
did your dad ever have other kids?
No, he had a daughter, and me and my sister, we friends. And she agrees and understands how she disagrees with our father. She don't like my father. She don't like him. She don't care about him. She feel like you see why I say my father?
Mm-hmm.
He feels some type of way about our father, but the way I look at it, because I'm older and I look at my father in a certain sense.
But why does she feel some type of way about your dad though?
See, it's supposed to be our dad, but she don't care about that. She feels some type of way about him.
Well, see, the question is, why does she feel some type of way about him though? It got to be something. Is it the fact that he's not?
He he makes her feel some type of way, and she talks to me as her sister. She talks to me. She don't worry about him. She want to talk to me.
Because see, the reason I'm asking that question is because you have the, like you said, the different families, and you have some parents that once they get a new family, they forget about their older kids and they treat their older kids some type of way like they don't exist. Like they'll treat the new kids better than the kids they got, and they'll kick them out at 18, but let their kids stay in the house. Stuff like that.
Same way with he did that same way with her, but she discarded all that. She was like, "Sister, I don't like the way Dad talks to me," and I was like, "Hmm, I can relate." But I'm not trying to like tell her how to tell her what to do or anything. But she feels some type of way because of how Dad has been making me feel some type of way and made her feel some type of way.
Okay.
So with that being said, I'm trying to talk to her as soft sister, being big sister, smaller sister. It's the same thing. So with what you were saying, um, he's like, uh, I want to call you, I want to talk to you, I want to, and I'm like, okay, I get it. And then she's like, Dad will say things to me in a certain way and make me feel some type of way. And I'll be like, I get it. I understand. I ain't trying to discard what you're saying, but he makes her feel like he's trying to control her in a certain way, in a certain extent. But I feel the same way. And she tell me that I'm like, damn,
Did she?
I'm
Okay.
trying to be calm.
Is her mom? And I'm in trouble. Is her mom and your dad still together?
Her mom is not together with him.
Okay.
And she wanna talk to me and then we'll talk about it and then it's like, damn. And then she be like, no, cause this, that, third, whatever. I don't like how dad talked to me. I'm like, damn, dad talks to me the same way. I wanna talk to you what he do to me, but I don't wanna say and I don't wanna like jump the point or the guard about it. It's crazy because my dad will he treat us like we his women. He treat us like we his women. And she actually say it herself. I don't say it, but she will bring it up to the opinion. Like dad just talk to us like he control us and I'm his woman and this and third. And I'm mad at him because he's just trying to control me and just think that I'm his woman. I'm like, okay, I get it, sis. And I try to be soft about it, but I get it. And I try to be calm about it, but listen, I just have to leave it alone because it is what it is because this is what he do.
So because
This is what he do.
so is it because and this is the thing, some parents got these expectations of what they think that you're on direction, maybe.
I feel like he don't feel like both of us are not feeling direction, and he trying to control how we supposed to go about it because he has his own issues and problems, and he trying to portray and project that shit on us. I'm gonna leave that alone.
Gotcha. It makes sense. But see, that's the thing. I mean, every situation with siblings are going to be different. And sometimes, like with my sister, for example, when I was a kid, she never understood my situation with my dad until she went through it. And so, like I said, sometimes the younger or the oldest one may not understand what the other one is going through. So, for example, you may have a situation where one daughter was messed with by the stepdaddy, and now he's messing with the other sibling. You know what I'm saying? And now you're trying to stop a situation, and the mother is just allowing it to happen. Now it's happening to the other sibling. You know what I'm
And
saying?
not to cut you off, but he's saying is that that's the conversation going on, but it's not a step person talking about. We talking about our biological father talking to us.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Um,
No, the reason I say that is I'm saying it in that way is because sometimes when one sibling is going through something, the other sibling always makes it seem like it didn't happen. This didn't happen to you, and you're like, but it did happen to me. When you were going through it, and they were the golden child, and they weren't going through it, they made it seem like they would never do that. So it just seemed to me like when you were going through it, she didn't think, oh, well, this would never happen to me. Now it's happening to her. Now she's coming to you like, okay, now I'm going through it. Well, I tried to tell you this was going to happen, and you didn't,
yeah.
believe me.
But the thing is, what's going on between us is that we're going through the same thing. That's what's crazy about it. It's different.
I got you, and that makes sense. So, like I said,
Told her, I don't mean to cuss on your platform, and he called me the same thing as well. And we both agree, like, our dad don't know what he needs to do and don't respect us as women. And we both arguing about it, not just between ourselves, but we arguing about it between him.
well, the one thing you can't do with certain people, especially in baby boomers, you're not going to be able to change their philosophy. They don't believe in change. My dad is an example of that. The only thing you can do, in all honesty, is just accept him for who he is and try not to let it get to you. Because here's the thing:
I'm
when
sorry that you misconstrued, find why it's about it. But he did that to both of us,
no, that's what I'm saying.
both his daughter.
That's what I'm saying. You have to be. He is who he is, and there's nothing you can't change other people. And I don't care who it is, whether it's father, mother. If a person is stuck in their ways, it don't matter how much potential you see in them. It don't matter what you do for them. It don't matter how many times you try to tell them how it makes you feel. If they don't care and they don't think they're doing anything wrong, they're never going to change. If they're comfortable in who they are, then there's nothing you can do. The only thing you can do is when they get like that, just say, okay. Don't even argue. Don't even say nothing. Say, okay, and walk away. That is the only thing you can do. Because the minute you try to explain, the minute you get defensive, they're going to be like, don't disrespect me because I'm your elder. Well, I'm also an adult. You and I are both kind of on the same page here. I'm an adult just like you
Yeah.
are. I'm not a child, I'm an adult. So you can't talk to me the way you would talk to me if I was a kid. But the problem is that if that person is set in their ways and the way they grew up, because again, when I learned about my dad and how he grew up, I got a better understanding. So now when, certain things happen, that is the reason why I handle certain things the way I do, because I got a better understanding of it. So I just be like, okay, and let it be that. I don't let, you know, him get to me like that anymore, because I'm not giving him that power anymore. You know what I'm saying? But I still give him the same respect. But when they get heated, I just walk away. I don't let it get to that point. And that's what she's gonna have to do. She's gonna have to learn to just say, okay, and just let it be that. Because trying to argue with him, you ain't gonna do nothing but make yourself mad. And you're only gonna frustrate and stress yourself out. It ain't worth it.
It's not that. I mean, like I said, I hate that I catch you off guard. That my sister agrees with me, and you can come and talk with you the same way I talk with you. But what I want to say is we both can agree and be on the same page about our father. crazy that that happens because she called me and she'd be like, sis, I was trying to call you and talk to you about stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I'm here, whatever. And the thing is, it's like, damn, I tried to tell you, but I ain't even had to try to tell her because she already told me. And me and her on the same page. The thing is, you don't know that that happened. And I neglect the fact to even tell you that me and her experienced the same experience. And I hate that you kind of like blindsided on that. We're so.
Understand it. I'm sorry, y'all. I was having technical difficulties on YouTube. So I'm gonna close this out on YouTube, and then I'm gonna post this video when we get finished on TikTok. I'm sorry, y'all, but I'm having a lot of technical difficulties with this computer. So I'm gonna end this, and then I will talk to y'all later. Thank y'all for joining me for the episode, and I will see y'all next week.